Hello, welcome back, track fans global. We're indeed here to look at something very interesting. First time I'm doing this format. Let me know if you like it. 5 in 1. 5 athletes in one video. Right? I hope you'll love it. Now, the athletes that I'll be looking at today in this video are Shaniah Douglas, Jamaica, Kishane Thompson of Jamaica, Gout Gout of Australia, Gabby Thomas of the USA, and Collen Kebinatshipi of Botswana. And we'll see what's their projection, how they are doing in the world of track and of field. I know, before you go forward, please remember to like and subscribe and share, because that's how the video gets through the algorithm. Now, let's do the business. Let's get into it. Now, the first athlete that I want to look at is actually Shaniah Douglas. Now, Shaniah Douglas is 18 years old, and she's quickly becoming one of the greatest U20 athletes of all time. Right? This year alone, Shaniah Douglas has not run a 100 meters slower than 11.50. That 11.50 was the time she ran early in January when she lost at the JC track meet to Alexi Henry by way of Eden Allen and Trinidad and Tobago. Now, since then, she has gone on to run 11.06 at the Carifta trials. And then at Champs, she ran 10.98 seconds. And recently, like 2 days ago, at the Carifta Games, she ran 11.13 seconds for the goal in the U20 division. What's impressive about Shaniah Douglas is that though being 18 years old, she's currently the world number 1 in the 100 and world number 2 in the 100. She's the only female in 2026 so far that has gone faster than 11 seconds flat. And this year, her 200 meters, she ran 22.36 seconds. Fastest time in the world. Right, by about 8/10 ahead of Shane Miller Weibo of Bahamas. Now, one thing that I want to talk about Shaniah is also her schedule. Right? So directly after Champs, right, was Carifta Games, right? And she has gone through Carifta Games already. So that's in the past. But now she has her mind set on one, the U20 championship in Tracktown, USA, and also the Commonwealth Games that will be held in Glasgow, Scotland. Right? Now, this is where I have a little problem, because the Commonwealth Games will come up first. It's July 23rd to August 2nd, right? And 3 days after that will be, right, the U20 World Championship in Eugene, Oregon. Now, I think at this juncture, I want to say that Shaniah Douglas probably would have to drop one of these championships, or drop the hope of attending one of these championships. And I would say that she should drop the hope of attending the Commonwealth Games, right? And attend the U20 World Championship. Because I think in the U20 World Championship, she has a better chance as winning gold. Now, she has competition in the women's 100 meter from the Maxwell twins of the USA. But I believe when it comes to the 200 meters, she's like sure gold medal favorite. Now, the other athlete I see running good enough probably to challenge her is actually 16-year-old Melanie Douglas. Over the weekend, she has run 22.8 in Olympic development 200 meters, coming in second place in that heat. Very impressive. So I believe Shaniah Douglas is set to do great things, but her schedule have to be managed well this year, right? That next year she don't get into problems with burnt out and overwork, because we don't want that. We want Shaniah Douglas to remain one for the future in Jamaican sprinting. So next person I want to talk about right, is the next Jamaican, KT. And you know, when your name become an acronym, then you're doing great things. And KT, Kishane Thompson, right? Recently, he bags the silver in the indoor 60 meters over there in Poland, right? So much so that people is beginning to call him the Silver King. But I think Kishane Thompson and his coach is working on a plan. And what happened in Miramar, Florida, over the weekend, Kishane Thompson running a world best in 150 meters at 14.92 seconds is an indication, it's a warning shot, it's a statement that Kishane Thompson is looking into the future to not be the silver guy, to not be in the silver place, to not be in the position of a silver medalist, but in the position of a gold medalist. Why do I say that? If you look at Kishane Thompson's closest rivals, Oblique Seville and Noah Lyles, right, and even Fred Curley, these guys, right, they have something about them, and that is they finish their 100 meters like a runaway train, as in they finish as if they're maintaining their speed quite well, so they close hard in the 100 meters. That is where Kishane has always lost out on the gold medal. You go back to the Olympic Games in 2024, he lost to Noah Lyles by the tiniest of margin because Noah Lyles caught him on the line and win it. But Kishane Thompson is working, his coach is working on getting him to finish that final 40 as good as the rest. And if that is to materialize, Kishane Thompson surely will be one that probably in the future can take the gold medal and also have the possibility of pushing his 100 meter PR down probably into the 9.6, because we all believe for some time now that Kishane Thompson has the ability to run 9.6 sometime in the future, because his technique was so raggedy, his closing is not that strong compared to the guys that has run 9.6. They all have strong close. Johan Blake, strong finisher. Tyson Gay, strong finisher. Usain Bolt, finished like a runaway train, right? So he has to get that strong finish, right? But I think it's because of the injury concerns that he had over the years, why the coach wasn't allowing him to run curve distances like 150 meters and like a 200 meters. But I think these injury concerns are pretty much going behind him from what happened in the 2025 season, where he pretty much ran all of the season injury-free. And so now the coach is trusting him now enough to run the 200 and run 150 that involve curve. And that's what we see happen here in Miramar, Florida, with this world best of 1492, where he break Linford Christie's mark. Right now that he can run over distance over the 100 meters, Kishane Thompson can possibly develop the kind of top-end speed, the kind of speed maintenance that will allow him to finish strong in the back end of the 100 meters, and that outlast his competitors, win the gold, and possibly push below 9.7. Now, the next athlete I want to talk about is Gabby Thomas. Now, when I talk about Gabby Thomas, it's the same conversation comes up all the time. And I believe that Gabby Thomas really is a 200 meter, 400 meter runner. She's not a 100, 200 meter runner at all. Why I say that? Because if you notice Gabby Thomas, over the years, her 100 meters time has not been improving. She has been stuck around the 11-second mark for the past 3 years. Yeah? And that tells us that her power, her explosiveness, her speed over the shorter distance is not really improving. Right? And that was confirmed this weekend, right, in the Texas relays. She ran 100 meter and win, right, 11 seconds dead. The same time that she has been running for the past 3 years, right? So our 100 meter time is not improving, but on the other hand, her 400 meter times has greatly improved. Last year, in Grand Slam track, she ran 400 meters in 49.14. For a person that is not training for it and knocking, right, on the door of a sub 49 seconds, that's very impressive. And so I was having the hope that she will start to take the 400 meter more seriously and just be a 204 runner, because she clearly has the talent to run crazy 400 meters, right? And last year, at the end of the year, she announced that 2026 she'll be running the 400. And to see her still focusing on the 100 meters is like a disappointment, because we know she can do far better in the 400 meters. And of course, we need the 400 meter world record of 47.6 to be broken. And now with Sydney McLaughlin, everyone's set to have a chat, right? That hope is pretty much put on pause. Now we're hoping for My Lady Paulina, Salva Eid Nasser, Gabby Thomas. We're hoping for them to develop this kind of rivalry that will push each other down into the 47s, right? And go for the 400 meter world record. Number 4, we have to talk about the Botswanian, Collen Kebinatshipi. 2-time on the same day at the Botswanian Championship, Kebinatshipi run 100 meters in 9.89 seconds. You can't make this up. The interesting thing is that this guy is not a 100 meter sprinter. He is the 400 meter world champion, where he ran 43.53 to become the 10th fastest 400 meter runner of all times. But for him to now be dropping 9.89 repeatedly, tell me that if he focus on the 100 meter, he'll be able to go much faster. And so probably Collen Kebinatshipi being a 400 meter runner, probably that's something that will soon be changed to Collen to 100, 200 meter runner, because he's clearly fast, he's clearly talented. Now, Botswana for the past years has developed a nice 4x4, but now it seems like they're on the brink of developing a nice 4x1. So obviously Botswana is doing something correct, something that a country like Turkey that want to develop their program can take and model after. So any country that wants to model something that can develop great athletes to become world beaters, look to Botswana, because they have something going on down here, right? Botswana is developing into a place where it might become the next powerhouse in track and field, right? Probably not in the field events yet, not in the distance running yet, but for now they have some middle distance runners, but they have the sprinters, and year after year new sprinters are coming. So Botswana is becoming great in sprinting, in track and field, and Collen Kebinatshipi might be coming to the 100 meters. So Botswana might be having at least 2 guys who are capable of running sub 10 in the 100 meters and their 4x1. So Botswana probably can put out a good 4x1 to compete at the World Relays this year, which is slated to happen, you guessed it, in Botswana, right? Very interesting. I look forward to the World Relays to see what Botswana will actually do in the 4x1 and in the 4x4, if they choose to put a 4x1 side, that is, right? Now, Gout Gout, the 5th athlete that I will talk about. Gout Gout is often seen as the next Usain Bolt, and primarily for stature, and also because of the times that he ran as a young athlete. Right, we have been talking about Gout Gout for the past 4 to 5 years now. So some of us now, right, really probably beginning to think that Gout Gout is someone in his 20s, but Gout Gout is about 17, 18 years old now, 18 years old or so now, right? But he has signed to go pro, right? But the thing that I'm having, the problem I'm having with Gout Gout is that earlier this year, Gout Gout ran 10 seconds flat, right? And that is the world number 3 right now in the 100 meter, behind Collen Kebinatshipi 989 and Max Thomas of the USA 9.90, right? But the thing is, when Gout Gout run these times, he's always running against athletes who are not at the same level of capability in sprinting as he is. So he'll be running about against some guys who are like 10.5 guys, 10.3 guys, 10.4 guys. And the funny thing is that they keep putting him in these races with guys who are inferior in talent and speed to a Gout Gout. Now, when he turns up to big international competition, like the World Championship last year, for instance, he didn't run anywhere close to what he was running when he ran against guys who is more talented than. And it's the same thing we see when he ran against Lachlan Kennedy. Lachlan Kennedy has beaten him for the past 2 years in the same track meet down here in Australia. And primarily the reason for that is because Lachlan Kennedy has been running with guys who are actually pros, who are actually good runners. But Gout Gout keeps stuck running with guys who is better than. Somebody say, why does that matter? It matters because when you run against people who you are more talented than, then you're always going to believe in your mind that you can beat them. Now, when you run with guys who are equally talented and more talented as you, then you have to think that I can actually beat them and actually step up your game to compete with them. Now, it's in this mind of reasoning, running against people who are your talent level and above, that mistakes are made. And so that's how Gout Gout fail at the World Championships, because running against these guys who are talented around the same level as his are better, right, make him frustrated, and so he cannot execute his race, or he should execute his race, right? And so I think that his team, as it is around him, is doing him a great injustice when they are allowing him to run against high school kids, because he's in high school, as opposed to running with the pros, who are guys who he has signed a contract to run against. You understand? Now, the good about this is that this year Gout Gout will actually compete in the Eugene Diamond League, and there he's slated to run against Kenny B and also, let's say, the Tobago. So these are the sort of competition that I want and that other people want Gout Gout to be in, because these are the competitions that can take him to the next level. He's clearly talented, but he needs to develop his mental in competing with the world's best. So that was my first series, 5 in 1. Now, if you like it, just comment like in the comment section. And remember, from Track Fans Global, track and field from Jamaica to Pakistan, you understand, I'm out again.